Frostbite apple tree that I planted in the spring of 14 from a nursery. It came as just a 3-foot whip. This one I'm having some issues in this little area here with gophers. It's been doing a number to the trees in this area. Been trapping and poisoning, and I think it got to this tree last year. It didn't put on all that much growth. No apples. 2 or 3 years ago, no, it must have been 3 years ago, I left about 3 apples on the tree, and birds got one of them, and I got to, something took one of them, and I got to taste one of them. So 2 years ago, frost took out all the flowers, and then last year it just did not pollinate any of the flowers. They never took off for whatever reason. So hopefully I'm going to take off a lot of this lower stuff. This one's on B118, so it should grow into a almost full 80% of a full-size tree. So I'm going to try to get, this is a 5-foot cage, so eventually my first scaffold will be at that 5-foot mark. So then I can bring that cage in a little closer and let the deer get all the apples that'll fall around it. As you can see, I have a window screen protecting it and painted up the base to prevent sun scald on it. If I were to do it again, I would get some higher window screen. As you can see, it's barely above the snow line right now. So I don't have a way to hold the camera, so I might attempt to prune while I'm holding this. So alright, like I said, my end goal for this tree is to get it up to that 5-foot level, so I'll probably cut everything below this scaffold right here. Got my pruners out. I'm gonna disinfect them quick. Just a 1:10 solution of bleach and water. I don't know how this is gonna go. I just have too much snow to open up my cage, so I'm gonna have to reach through here. So sorry if this video is a little shoddy. I have a couple of people that want scion from this tree, so I'm gonna attempt to get some scion once I'm done making my big cuts here. Alright. Go for that low one first. Boy, I might have to take out my Zubat. Cut some of these. Take this one. Like I said before, I'm waiting on a new thing of shears. This one's just the kind that you jam the top blade into the bottom, so it kind of just squeezes the wood a little bit. I don't like that. I need to get that new pruner so I don't ruin these trees. Take this one out. Trying to get it fairly close so that it can heal nicely. Alright. I think for the next two I might take the saw. Now, as you can see, I use I think it's 1-inch conduit as something for the leader to kind of pull up on. It's almost the tip of it there. It must be about 7 feet tall. So I let this one fruit when it was a little too young, but gotta try the fruit, right? This was my first tree that I planted that produced apples for me, so I had to let it go. Alright. Pick this little guy. These little ones here. I'm probably taking too much wood for how big this tree is, but I think the gophers are getting at its roots and it's really stunted it, so I don't think there's all that much root down there to support a lot of the tree. So I'm being a little more aggressive than I normally would here. Now I'll cut some of the stuff that's kind of coming back towards the tree here. It's going straight down. But you can just tell that this tree didn't grow much last year. There really isn't all that much good new wood. Take this guy. Train some of these here. There's a leaf on there. It looks like something has burrowed in there and laid its eggs. I can tell. Can't really tell there. I don't know what the deal is there. Stuck on there pretty good. We're about done here. I don't really want to take too much of this crummy wood that's left. Got this weird looking guy here. Yeah, hopefully with this haircut it can push some good new growth in the next couple years. Next year I'll probably take this guy, maybe this. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Next year, we'll wait till next year to make that determination. As you can see, took quite a bit of that tree, but like I said, gophers are killing it. Hopefully I can get them under control this spring. Let's try to get some scion from this guy. I know a couple people wanted it, but man, after I pruned here, I realized how little growth the tree put on last year. Just very little to choose from. I'm afraid here I might have some small scion to pick from. Alright, I should probably get some from here. When you're picking scion, you're looking for 1-year-old growth. Like here, I'll cut this one here. There's a stick of scion. You notice didn't put on much growth. That's probably the best piece that's of the 3 sticks that I cut here. That's probably the best stuff right there. And you're looking for pencil thickness, and that is definitely not the thickness of a pencil. So I'm sorry to the guys that I'm sending this out to. I apologize. I didn't realize it was this poor growth. I don't think there's any better on the stuff that's laying down there. Here we have a Pristine apple. It was planted from the nursery in the spring of 13. I believe the nursery didn't name the rootstock. It just said standard. So I don't know if it's on Annie or what it's on. It's about to the top of my conduit pipe there, so it's about 7 feet tall. This one, after the first winter, it died back, and I cut it right at the base where it sprouted. It sprouted above the graft, so this might be my first year with apples if I don't cut too much of it off. I think my goal is always, these are for the deer, a little bit for humans, so I have a 5-foot cage here. My first scaffold to be at the top of that cage. When they're younger though, I like to let them branch out and leaf out in order to get some of that sunlight to the roots through the leaves. So I'm going to take off these lower 3 big ones today. Probably that's it. One there. looks like it's nice and green in there. So we had I'm here in East Central Minnesota, and we had a negative 30-degree day. So I'm kind of curious to see which apples I lose this year. I have quite a few varieties that I push the chart. I'm a zone 4A, and I have quite a few zone 4 trees, so I wouldn't doubt it if I lose a couple, but that's fine. I'm fine with that. I have a bunch more grafted in nursery bed that I can replace them with, so if I lose one or two, that's totally fine with me. These dang gophers are probably worse than winters for me around here. That one there, cleaned her up a little bit, gave her a nice trim. You can see a bunch of side branches there I'll have to choose from. For next spring to prune up, I'll probably start my first scaffold right where this guy is. So all those lower ones can come off next year. I don't know if this one, I need to do a little research here. I don't know if this one, it seems like it might be a tip bare because of how it's producing and where the buds are looking for this year. I might have some flowers on this one, who knows, maybe an apple or two down there. Kind of looking like I could. Pretty nice day here to be pruning. About 35 degrees out, so there you go. Gave my Pristine apple nice haircut. That's a prune Whitney crab. I believe this one was planted spring of 13. I'll have to go back and look at my book. My tag must have fallen off of it this winter. This one, I don't know if gophers are getting at this one too, or if it was blight that got to it. Just kind of petered out towards the end of the year. I think a bunch of the new growth died and then it started growing again. Do a little pruning on it today. I got a new pair of Baco, let's see if I can zoom in on that frame, Baco pruners. This was my first time giving them a shot, so notice I kind of got the main leader died on me, so I'm gonna knock that one off. That's gonna be my first cut. I don't think that one that's up there is gonna do anything for me, so I'm gonna have a jog in it for a couple years, but over time I should be able to kind of pull it up with the posts there. The tree right now is at about, I don't know, 6.5 feet tall. As with all my trees that I've been talking with, my main goal is to have all of the scaffolds above the 5-foot fence here, so I don't have to worry about deer getting them. Last year this one had a couple of crabs on it, but they made about halfway through the season. Like I said, I don't know if it was blight or what it was got to them. And the apples kind of just got about an inch big and shriveled up and kind of turned to mush. So, alright, let's start making some cuts here. Now this little stuff is gonna go. Couple guys want some cyan off this one. Grab some from up top. Some of these branches. There's a big piece sticking up there that you can kind of see. Alright, how much of this do I want to cut? Let's take that one. Bugger. I want this thing to grow taller. Now I'm cutting quite a bit of wood here, but I want this tree to go up and Alright, here's a quick video on pruning a first leaf. This one's a Franklin cider apple. I got it from Cummins Nursery last spring, so this spring will be its second leaf, I believe is what they would call it. Pretty much gonna cut off any of the laterals and just keep this baby growing up. I'd say it's probably about 3 feet tall right now. So just kind of an example of what I would do. Just gonna clip off all these little suckers and hope that it starts going up for me. Trying to get used to these new pruners. I think I need to do this when I want to cut on this side of the tree. There we go. Left with just the wet. There's still some leaves up top there, but that's pretty much all I'll do with the tree that's been planted for just 1 year. Looking for that vertical growth. I did two springs ago. Just wanted to show you kind of what you would get out of B118. This is a sweet 16, so just gonna make a few prunes here, pruning cuts. Just get this thing to start growing up. So back to a whip, gonna grow from there. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you're having a good spring.